All right, we are back today with another taste testing. It is Adria and Jessica, and we are here in North Carolina, where we have a very big haul of tomatoes, peppers, watermelons, our first pumpkins this year. And today was the first day that we got our Habanadas in. So we officially have all of our peppers ripening at once, which means we can do a taste testing today, which is excellent. So similar to how we did the tomato taste testing or how we do wine or cheese taste testings, I got us a flavor wheel. We have varied guests to visit us. I have a flavor wheel for peppers. This is supposed to be for fresh or preserved peppers, which I think is interesting. Some kind of like keywords around what type of flavors we might be tasting. And then we have our notes, and we can rank and, you know, sort of taste test and compare.
See who the winner is.
See who the winner is. So some of these are ones that we've grown before. Ones that I have grown before include the Shishito and the Habanadas, and those have been sort of tried and true in the garden in years past, and so those seem to be doing well again this year, and we're going to try those again. And I think Shishito is the first on the list. These Shishitos are from Baker Creek, but I have gotten them from other sources in the past as well. I'm actually going to grab a couple of these green ones because Shishito peppers are typically sort of traditionally eaten green. I like to eat them red because I feel like you get more nutritional value out of them, and I haven't really noticed that the flavor is any better or worse between the green or the red. And so, you know, like with any green pepper, if you let it ripen to red, you're going to get more nutrition out of it, more vitamin C. So anyway, I eat them red. I do enjoy them green as well, but I kind of wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of these to see if there really is any sort of difference in the flavor when you're eating them raw. So let's do, and hopefully we can see what this pepper looks like. It's a thin-skinned green pepper, very thin-skinned. It's kind of got a wrinkly skin. I'll give you this piece. Oh, I didn't give you a plate. We should, well, that's all right. We're just gonna roll through it. So bon appetit. Let's try. This is the Shishito pepper green. It's a very green pepper flavor. Very fresh. Has a lot of those bell pepper, green bell pepper flavors. The thin skin can be a little tough, raw. But it's very sweet. I think the wrinkly skin works well for blistering. It lends well to blistering. They also dehydrate really well. So for long-term storage, they can be great for dehydrated. And you can even hang them like ristras, like strung up and make them look like little Christmas tree lights during the holidays. I think I did that last year.
Tastes like a bell pepper. Like you said, the skin's a little tough, raw, a little, chewy.
Yeah, vegetal. Like there's a lot of fiber in it. All right, let's try the red. You know, the red ripened version of the Shishito pepper. Again, it's the same thing, wrinkly red skin. I just prefer the color of the red, and so let's taste side by side and see what we think. And this is, you know,
Very pretty.
kind of a small pepper, but look how many they produce. I mean, they're so prolific in their production. Better.
I like that better than the green.
It's way less bell pepper flavor. This is more red bell pepper flavor.
Sweeter.
Much sweeter. a lot more flavor in it. Okay, I think I'm gonna stand by eating these red. I'm gonna continue to harvest these red. I do occasionally harvest them green. You know, they'll continue to produce, you know, for another couple months, I hope. And I'll eat them green, I'll eat them red, but I do typically harvest them red, and I think this justifies that. Taints, what do you think? Yes, you agree? Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Shishito. Would I grow this one again? Absolutely. I will definitely grow this one again. I love these all different ways. Blistered. We do them stuffed with like a cream cheese, cheddar cheese, chive type of blend. They are really just a flavorful, versatile pepper. Can go in a stir fry, you can freeze them, you can dry them. Really a versatile pepper for eating and for preserving. Hi, honey. Okay, I'm gonna give Shishito a 10 out of 10, I think, just because it does grow so well here. We really don't, it doesn't succumb to disease pressures. I think it was delicious. I mean, we know it's delicious. We eat it all the time. 10 out of 10, will grow again, Shishito peppers. What are your thoughts?
I gave it 7 for the green and 8 for the red.
I would probably give like an 8 for the green and 10 for the red. You said 8 for the red?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now let's move on to one that I know is one of my favorites. This is the Habanada pepper. Habanadas are like the heatless habaneros. So it's meant to have all of the flavor of a habanada, habanero without the heat. So it's fruity, it's floral, citrus, and really bright. You know, you can see it's this very bright sort of tangerine colored skin. Medium thickness on the pepper. It's a little thin, but it's not anywhere near as thin as the Shishito pepper, so they're not as good for drying, but great for freezing. I love making sauce out of these. Like just a sauce out of just the habanadas is amazing. This is definitely has been one of my favorites in the past, so I'm really excited we were able to include this in our taste test today. I mean, you can just smell that this is going to be different, right?
Yeah.
It's tropical, super fruity, citrusy. Winner, winner,
Yeah.
winner.
Sweet flavor of a jalapeno, but or a habanada.
But with no heat. I mean, no heat whatsoever. The Shishitos occasionally will have just a hint of heat. Habanada, I never get any heat off of these. Super sweet. Color is beautiful. The form is beautiful. They're wrinkly, but firm. Just a beautiful pepper. So, yeah, I think I would give that one a 10 too in terms of flavor. Texture I like better than the Shishitos. They grow really well, but you can see we only have a handful of them now because they're really late producers. And I don't do a lot of late producers because in North Carolina, we have so much heat and humidity and disease and pest pressure that by mid-July, you know, if we haven't gotten our peppers off the ground by mid-July, we might lose them in their entirety. But for whatever reason, the habanadas, they take a long time, but they do make it to maturity, and it looks like we're going to have a great harvest this year. So would I grow these again? Definitely. This was another Baker Creek habanadas, but I have grown these from Burpee before, Burpee Seed Company, and I think they might be slightly different. You know, they kind of have a little bit of a different appearance, so they might be a slightly different variant, but both excellent and would grow again. Thoughts?
Agreed. I gave it a 10. Like I said, can't handle too much heat, and that really doesn't have any.
No heat, yeah.
No heat.
Excellent. All right, this was a little bit of a wild card this year, and we'll see if this was a good decision or not. This is the Txorixero I hope I am pronouncing that correctly, but these are Txorixero peppers. They are long, as you can see, that's probably about 5 inches long. Red when fully mature. And they think these are a Spanish pepper. I think they're from Basque. So I grew these in lieu of Jimmy Nardello peppers, which Jimmy Nardello is something that I've grown several years in a row now that I really enjoy. And I thought, well, it's about the same shape and size and I'll use them about the same purpose, so maybe I'll just skip the Jimmy Nardellos this year. I have been missing the Jimmy Nardellos this year, but let's see how these Txorixeros stack up to the Jimmy Nardello, which I planted them in lieu of this year. And I'm just gonna take some of these seeds out so we can get some of this good looking fruit. I mean, that's a lot of pepper. So if you're freezing or preserving or making sauce, that's gonna add a lot of bulk to your sauce. But these had a lot of disease pressure. They're not very leafy plants, which could be good for airflow, but unfortunately, because we had such early, what is it called? We had really high temperatures. Oh. So we had we had several back-to-back heat waves. And because of that, we had a lot of sun damage on the peppers. And in particular, the ones that weren't, sort of fully covered, like a Habanada, you can't see the fruit at all because of the leaf structure of the plant. The fruit is hidden under it, which protects it from the sun. The Txorixeros were just very much out in the open, and a lot of them did get some sun damage when we had our heat waves earlier this year. This one doesn't have a lot of nose to it. Oh, hello.
Slight bell pepper smell.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, there's a lot going on in the flavor. Smoky, rich. Really a savory pepper. I'm betting that's adding a lot more flavor to my sauce than I was realizing. That's a really flavorful pepper. Now I wish I had the Jimmy Nardello to compare side by side. I'm gonna take another bite of that one because that's interesting. I wasn't expecting, based on there's really not a whole lot of smell to it, but the flavor's really there.
Yeah, it's real smoky, real savory.
The skin is pretty thin, probably thinner than the Habanadas, but thicker than the Shishito. But that's a lot of fruit on a fruit. So, done with these here?
Yeah.
All right, how are we ranking these?
I really like that one. I actually gave that one a 10.
I was really surprised by the flavor of that. I'm gonna give it a 10 for flavor and probably like a 7 for production. And so we'll just have to do them sort of side by side next year with the Jimmy Nardellos and see which one we prefer. All right, let's see what's next on our list here. The Ashe County Pimento. Okay, so I'm growing 2 southern pepper varieties this year. This is the Ashe County Pimento from Ashe County, North Carolina, which is not too far from us. This is the Doe Hill Golden Bell Pepper, which is from Doe Hill, Virginia. Both of those, let's see, this was from So True Seed. The Ashe County Pimentos are from So True Seed. So they're actually kind of hard to come by. They were out of stock for a couple years and then back in. Doe Hill Golden came from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. So these are 2 southern pepper varieties. These are new to me. The size is kind of interesting because I'm not really sure. I think they'd be really fun for stuffing, like, just sort of individual sort of appetizer size. But let's see where we're going to start. Let's start with the Ashe County Pimento. They're a little smaller than I thought they would be, and maybe that's just because we have had so much heat and kind of a exotic summer. I don't know. So they're adorable. I mean, isn't adorable pepper? Like, look at the little slices that they just produce, these little cavities. The color is beautiful. The skin is sort of medium thickness. It's about comparable to the Txorixeros.
Juicy.
Really juicy. Really fruity. There's maybe a little bit of like a medicinal note. I'm gonna have to try that one again. But I definitely like the juiciness of the flesh.
Yeah.
It's got a good bite to it. It's got a bite like a bell pepper. What do you think, T? You're not sure?
Yeah, me either.
Um,
Yeah, I like the texture. I like it. It's juicy. Flavor. It's okay.
It's a meh. It's a meh for flavor, which is surprising. But because these are such a versatile little pepper, I actually read an article about these. I think it was in Garden and Gun magazine, but it's about a chef near Asheville who uses these types of peppers, and they offered up like 5 or 6 different recipes for them, different ways to use them. So you can use them stuffed. You can obviously use them like pimentos. So lots of different ways you can use them, and they have sort of frozen well for me, the ones that I have already harvested this year. But the flavor is lacking in comparison to some of these others, especially back to back with the Txorixero, which was so flavorful. I would give that one a 7 for flavor. Maybe like a 9 for aesthetic.
Yeah, I gave a 9 for the aesthetic and a 6 for the flavor.
Okay. Yeah, it's well, we'll see. We're gonna see when we cook these too how that might change the flavor.
Yeah.
Okay, the Lesya peppers. I actually already did a video about the Lesya peppers this year because the Lesyas are just gorgeous. I mean, look at this pepper. This is a beautiful pepper. They are just this crimson red. They have this beautiful heart shape with this little pointed tip. This one does have some sun damage on it, so we're going to work around that because there's still a lot of really good fruit on this. Let's see here. Teens, do you want to try some peppers? All right, let's see here. Yeah, that looks like perfect fruit right there. So you can see this one is very thick-walled. This is supposed to be one of the sweetest peppers, like the highest bricks of any of the sweet bell peppers. Although I have heard, sort of competitors say other peppers are in the running. But the Lesya pepper, super sweet, great flavor, very thick skin, very juicy. Let me give you this here. And like, wow, beautiful, like really beautiful. I mean, the color alone, it's like that should be a nail polish color, or, that's a really beautiful color. You can really see the cells on the inside, like you would with a red bell pepper. And that's a meal. I mean, that's a whole meal in a bite. Really thick-walled. What do you think, bub? You want to smell pepper? What do you think? Txorixeros? Not your thing?
It's very crunchy.
Crunchy, good texture.
Yeah. Not picking up too much flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of fruity, floral, very red bell pepper flavor. Let's try again.
I mean, I love the texture.
Crunchy,
Yeah.
juicy, like a whole meal of a pepper. These are hefty peppers. No.
No cracker.
All right. Those are our palate cleansers, my dear. Okay. All right. In terms of aesthetic, I would definitely give that a 10.
10.
Flavor, I think it's between a 9 and a 10 for me. I mean, that's about as... It's not complex like the Txorixero, but I could eat this all day.
I gave 10 for the texture and aesthetic, and 7 for flavor.
Maybe I think I'll give it a 9 for flavor and a 10 for aesthetic. You said 7 for flavor?
Yeah.
10 for aesthetic, yeah.
10. It's a gorgeous.
Really pretty. So would I grow that one again? Yes, definitely. Christmas tree peppers. I'm excited to see this one. I don't think I've actually done any sort of like fresh snacking off of this one, so I really don't know what this is going to taste like. But the Christmas tree peppers, I already know I'm going to grow again just because aesthetically they are one of the coolest peppers to see in the garden. They only grow about 1.5 feet tall. So it kind of becomes a ground cover, and then they have all of these, they have all of these like Christmas tree lights, and they're purple and yellow and orange and red and you know, all these different colors on the single plant, and they just look so pretty and so cool. So I'm going to use those. I grew them in the annual garden this year, but next year I'm going to try to grow them as ground covers in the food forest. So that they're, you know, sort of fulfilling that ground cover layer, because they're a beautiful edible ornamental that I think will make a beautiful ground cover. So you're supposed to eat them when they are, they're supposed to have the best flavor when they're fully like cherry red like this, but you can eat them when they're yellow or orange or purple and any of their other sort of states of being. They just have their best flavor when they're fully ripe to red. Now this one smells like it's going to be spicier. Let's see. No, not a lot of heat, but it does have a little bit of like spice to it.
Reminiscent of the Habanada.
Without maybe the tropical and the floral.
Like you're anticipating the heat, but it doesn't come.
You're anticipating the heat. That's exactly right. Pretty thick walled pepper for such a small, like it's a sturdy pepper. It's about like finger length, like maybe 2.5, 3 inches. I will definitely grow these again. I don't think they're going to be a major feature of my annual garden in the future, but I will definitely grow these again as ground covers and as edible ornamentals, because they're just like the coolest looking plants.
Actually, it was 10 across the board.
Really?
Just because I've seen them out in the garden, and they're so cool. And also, like I said, it's like you're anticipating heat, but it doesn't quite come, but it's very flavorful.
It's interesting.
I think it'd be really good in some dishes.
Stuffed. That would be perfect stuffed, just like we do the Shishitos. Yeah, I think I'm going to give those 10 for aesthetic and probably 9 for flavor, which is exactly what I gave the Lesya. So yeah, I think I will grow those again. And then this is interesting too, because those, the Christmas tree peppers online, they're sold as Christmas tree peppers, and I've certainly been remembering them that way because they look like Christmas tree lights. But when I got them, they actually say sweet pickle peppers. This is Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, and the packet says sweet pickle. So I'm gonna have to remember that in the future, because I'm gonna go pickle and I'm not gonna remember Christmas tree. So we'll grow that one again. Excellent, good stuff. Our last one on the list is the Doe Hill Golden. So this is the one that's from Doe Hill, Virginia. I'm looking forward to taste testing this one. We already have a ton of these in the fridge, so I think I'm gonna try to stuff them and probably do them like an Italian style, since we have so much sauce from the tomatoes already this year. I'm probably gonna stuff them with like a rice mixture and cook them down with some tomato sauce and see how that works. But the color is certainly beautiful, and they actually got a lot darker yellow, like school bus yellow, more orangey yellow than I thought that they would, because originally when I was harvesting them like a week or two ago, they were, I don't know, more like a lemony yellow, more green yellow, and then now they're like really filling in with this orangey yellow.
I'm getting a little pumpkin.
They do. They're cute. I mean, in terms of like they look very similar to the Ashe County Pimento, and they're like this very tiny. I mean, they're gonna make adorable stuffed peppers. That's for sure. They're very cute. Wow. Super sweet. That is like candy sweet.
Very sweet. Thick, crunchy.
Thick.
But surprisingly sweet.
Surprisingly sweet. Really surprising, like candy sweet flavor. Wow. And yeah, pretty thick walled. I do like the little lobes on them, like that's gonna make a cute, just like a cute cutting in a salad. This is the thickest walled of the peppers other than the Lesya that I've grown this year. And wow, the flavor is really surprising. See, that's why it's nice to do the side by side, because I don't think I would have thought of the Ashe County Pimento as any less sweet than the Doe Hill Golden, but side by side, it's a totally different experience. I'm gonna give that one a 9 for flavor and a 9 for aesthetics. I will say I will definitely grow that one again. We'll see how we use it. You know, like how, you know, what are we gonna do with it other than, you know, freeze it for fajitas and tacos and that kind of thing, and cook it down with sauce, and like I said, we'll try stuffing them and do a little tomato sauce with it, but we'll see. I think of teens, what do you think? You have urgent thoughts about peppers to share? Put this knife away from him. I think a lot of these were winners this year. That I don't think I can say the same for all of the tomatoes that we grew this year, but I think Shishito I will definitely grow again. Habanada is probably my favorite. Like if I was pressed, I would say Habanada is my favorite pepper. The Txoriceros were good, but I'm gonna have to try them against the Jimmy Nardellos. Ashe County Pimento, I might not try again. We're gonna get through this season and we'll see. That's a maybe. Lesyas I really liked. I just think they're gorgeous peppers and tasty, and they're big for a pepper that I can get to maturity without suffering from pest and disease in our garden here. No crackers, my son, please.
Yeah, I had a lot of 10s, but for me, I think the Christmas tree.
Christmas tree
Yep.
for Jessica is the winner. Well, then we'll definitely plant those again next year. So yeah, I mean, the only ones that are maybes are the Ashe County Pimento and the Txorixero, and that's really only because the Txorixero I think is equivalent to the Jimmy Nardellos, and I think I'm going to grow those again next year. So overall, this was surprising. I think we got a lot of really good peppers this year. And even though we have had a good bit of sun damage because of these heat spells that we've been having, doing all right. So I'd say, yeah, I think so. So we're gonna work on preserving these this week, cooking them, preserving them. We're gonna do a lot of fresh eating, and then we're gonna freeze a lot of them. We're gonna do some canning and hopefully some pickled peppers and things like that. So I think that is it for this taste testing. Thank you all at home for joining us. And hopefully we will be doing another taste testing video for other things we harvest again soon. Say bye, everybody. Bye.